Boa noite a todos. Gente, vocês estão prontos? Are we ready? Good evening to everyone. I hope you are all ready for tonight. I hope so. And I believe you guys have been using what we all have been studying here. Okay. Is there anyone who just joined? Let's say tonight only. Today is your first time. No. Then since we are all old people. Okay. And I believe we are still using the right procedures. And if you have any challenge to, as usual, you can also ask in the group, or when you come here, you can prompt us, then maybe we will treat it. Okay. But I believe up to date we don't have any challenge. Do we have some challenges? Do we? Yeah, I believe in you people. Since everybody is quiet, it seems everything is moving on smoothly. Guys, tonight we are going to learn one more stuff, and I expect each and everyone to pay attention because it's a bit complicated, okay? It's a bit complicated, so I expect each and everyone to do his or her best. Okay. So, a gente vai estudar mais uma coisa, né? E todo mundo tem que prestar atenção. E você pode tirar tua dúvida, você pode fazer perguntas também, viu? E estou aqui para ajudar todo mundo. Não se importa, viu? Então, gente, vamos começar. E vou abrir nosso cadê ele? Cadê ele? Gente, hoje o que a gente vai estudar? A gente já terminou futuro pretérito, né? Esse foi semana passada. Então, e vou descartar aqui. E hoje a gente vai estudar D, o D do 2. É muito importante. A gente vai fazer isso hoje. Então, gente, vamos fazer a nossa parte, viu? Isso aqui não é tão fácil, mas a gente tem o Senhor, Ele vai ajudar a gente. Então, hoje, o que a gente vai fazer? What are we going to do tonight? We are going to do compostos, okay? Compostos, okay? Compostos. And compostos, they are a bit complicated, as I said earlier. Because if you don't take time, even the Portuguese itself will scare you. Why? It's not like our English that we just say it and we know what we are saying. But for Portuguese, sometimes we need to think whether, or we need to ask ourselves whether what we are saying is on the right path or not. Okay. So, gente, if we talk of composto, what is composto? Someone says, Sina Samuel, what does it mean in English? Okay. Composto, the other form or the other name is participio pasado. Okay. Participio participio pasado. Okay, participio pasado. We talk of participio pasado. In English, what does it mean? That's a past participle. Okay, that's what we are going to do tonight. Someone say, senior Sam, then this one I know it already. We don't need to do. Yeah, you and I, we know it. But out of Portuguese, is it the same pattern? Is it the same format? Is it the same way? We are now going to 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 see whether it's the same format, the same pattern like our English. Okay. If not, then it seems we need to follow their pattern. So if you talk of participio pasado, mostly we use for things which happened in the past. Okay, that's already taken place. Okay, even during my statement, the one I just made, I said it has already taken place. Okay, so that word taking, someone asks, how do you say it in composto? How do you say it in the participio pasado? That's what we are going to study tonight. So, as usual, I expect each and everyone to know at least billions of verbs and how do we treat it. Okay, as I've been saying, dealing with the regular verbs, they are easy to understand. Okay, with the regular verbs, they are easy to understand. But out of the irregular ones, do they follow the same pattern as we are going to study tonight? Or as usual, they don't, or they change? Or how do they do? We are going to learn everything tonight. So let's start. As usual, we have our three verbs AR, ER, and IR. Okay. So for the AR, we have some of the verbs here. And I believe we all know these verbs. Do we all know the verbs? Ajudar, cochilar, levantar-se, acordar, sentar, arrumar, arranjar, organizar, compartilhar, roubar, afagar, rezar, acreditar, and the rest. I hope you all know their meanings. Which one don't? If you know, you don't know any of them. Oi, hey, arranjar. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's what you. Since you don't know, levantar-se. Okay, okay, levantar-se. So you want me to just write levantar? So if I add sentar-se like this, do you understand? Okay, okay. So our brother was asking, what is the meaning of koshila? To nap, okay? To nap, okay? I hope you get the meaning. Okay. So ahuma and ahanja are not the same. Some people say, oh, Senior Sammy, they're almost the same. They're almost the same. But some people also know senior some they are not. Others will also say, oh, they are the same. Okay. So arranger, it means to arrange. Okay. Okay. I hope you get it. Arranger. And ahuma, someone say, oh, senior, but it is also to arrange. Okay. But ahuma is like in terms of tidying. Okay. Did you get it? Guys, I hope you get what I'm saying. Like a hanja is the normal arrangement. You need to arrange something. It can be in line or in order. But huma is like knitting it, okay? Tidying something up. Or let's assume you have dress and your bottoms, they are all not, you couldn't close everything. They can tell you a huma. Sometimes even when your lace, your shoelace, okay, when they're off, they'll say, oh, Ahuma, they will support it. Like you need to fasten it or tie it or yeah. So Ahuma and they're almost the same, okay. Organizer, we all know the word even show itself in English to organize. Okay. Okay. Compatilia, we all know to share, hoba, to rob, afaga. Who have heard of afaga? I know most of you haven't. Most of you haven't. That's why I asked you guys to go and search for more verbs. Someone saying, who knows? Who knows the name of afaga? Okay. So afaga, it can be to stroke or carries. I don't know if you know carries. Yeah, in some way. So it has many meaning based on the based on the sentence, okay? Yeah, that's why the language is a bit scary, but it is not scary. Okay, okay. So we have all these verbs. Heza, to pray. If you see heza and ora, they are all the same. Acreditar, brincar, tocar, tentar, entregar, fritar. I hope you all know fritar. Fritar. It means to fry. If you want to fry your egg, okay, okay, yeah, fritar. So take note. Okay, let's go. Come again. Acacia. Okay, someone is asking, is it the same as acacia? Mm, yeah, that's what I said. We have synonyms, okay? So they are the same thing. Okay, okay. So it all depends on the sentence which determine what you are talking about. Okay. Yeah, let's continue. So as I said, all these verbs we are going to use them, but we are not going to, we can't mention everything. Okay. So take note. The AR verbs, they are composto. It becomes ado. Someone say ado. I think I'm confused. If you guys could remember when we were doing The gerundo, we say endo. Now this one is ado, not ando. The gerundo was ando. This one is ado. Okay, so take notes. Sometimes people may think the composto and the gerundo are the same. No, if you don't take care, you give the other to the other. Okay, so how do we get the composto? If you want to construct a sentence and if you want to have composto in it, you need to know these rules. Okay, you need to know these rules. The rule says that first one, verbal te and verbal ave. Someone's asking us, what is ave? Guys, I hope you have talked of ave before. Yeah, many times. So the ave and the verbal te, they help us to form the compost. Okay, so they always come first, then the composto follows. Okay, okay. So the ave or verbal te plus composto, if the composto is a regular verb. Okay, if it's a regular verb, you need to do that. Okay, okay. And second, verbal se, it can be that it is not verbal ave, it is not verbal te. It can be verbal se and verbal estar, any of them. It may come first, then the composto follows. Only if the composto is an irregular verb. Okay, this one I know most of you guys are confused, so now let's break it down. So this is what I was saying. You can only form composto. This is how it goes. Verbal te will come first, and the ave, any of them will come. Then you add your composto. Now let's learn the compostos first. Then you form sentences with the rules which I just listed. Okay. So if you check all of them, ajudar became ajudado. What is the meaning of ajudado in English? Ajudado, it means helped. I know some of you asking us, I mean, hot of ajudei, ajudou, ajudamos, and or ajudava. I hope guys remember all of them. Yeah, those ones are also past, but they are not past participle. Okay, so if you take ayudar, it will become ayudado. Okay, you form sentence so that you understand. Okay, example. The example I don't need to say it. I'll bring it later. Cochila, cochilado. We took the AR and it was replaced with ado. Acordar will be acordado. Levantar will be levant. Opa, sentar will be sentado. Arrumar will be arrumado. Arranjar will be arranjado. Aceitar. Now let's take note. Now the rule which I was saying, when you use verbal te and verbal or verbal ave, this is how they become when they are regular verbs. Okay, but not all regular verbs. Some of them have both sides. They use this side and the verbal se too. Okay, so if they're using verbal se, would they be the same or not? No, they don't. They changed. Okay, okay. So you get to understand when the sentences comes. Okay, example with the accetar, verbal accetar, which means to what? Accept. Okay, so the accetar will be acetado. But when you're using verbal se and verbal estar in their sentences, it won't be acetado, but it will be aceito or aceita or aceite. Okay, okay. So now let me explain with examples. I'm going to give more examples so that it will be so simple for we all. So in English, the information. So we have a question here. A informação tem que ser aceitada. The information must be hot or have to be accepted. Okay. The word accepted, the accepted one, okay, which in English it is past participle. But some people are thinking, since it is accepted, why don't we conjugate it like the past tense own with it? No, it can't be, and it will never be. Okay, so this is how it goes. A informação tem que ser aceitada. This is the composto, acetado. How do we say it in English? If you want to write them in English, this is how it goes. The information has to be hot, accepted. Okay. So you could see this one, the accepted one we have here. It is in the past. I hope you know it is past. But this past we have is the one we call the compost, not the one we did the past tense, the past perfect, and the past. No, not those one. This one is compost. Now we'll be going to so simple ones so that you understand what we are doing tonight. Otherwise, you get confused. That's why I said it is a bit complicated. Okay. Okay. How does it become aceito and aceichi? This, please remember, we use verbo ter. That's why it become acetado and the rest. But this place, we are using verbo estar or verbo ser. That's why we have aceita or aceiche or aceito when you're using verbo ser. Okay. Okay. Don't worry. I have many sentences for you tonight. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. Pagar, which means to pay, it will be what? Pagado when you're using verbo ter and verbo haver. But when you're using verbo ser and verbo estar, it will be pago or paga. Okay. Example. Foi pago or paga. Or let me bring something. A uh, laranja foi paga pela mamãe. Okay. So the orange was paid. English is the orange. Okay. The orange was paid. Okay. By mom. Okay. So the composto we are doing here tonight is the second word, the second verb, which we can all see from my screen. Which word am I talking about? Paid. Which word? Paid. Okay. So the word paid is the composto we are talking about. I hope we have been saying it in English. I have finished. The finish there is the composto. I am done. The done there is the composto. Okay. Yeah. But don't think because we learn the past perfect and past imperfect, so it means we are going to conjugate it in that way. I know most people were saying, are thinking, if in English we say the orange was paid by mom, then it means the Portuguese should be like this: a laranja, a laranja. Okay. Foi. Then someone say paid. Then someone will go to, guys, I hope you get what I'm saying. Then someone will go to the past tense we did. I hope you guys remember the past tense. Then the person will bring maybe pago, because this one also means paid. I hope you guys remember. Do you remember? Yes. But that's not the way, because when I was teaching you guys the Portuguese, if you could remember, I said in Portuguese, we only conjugate the second verb in three different ways. Who can remember? Who can tell me? I've been seeing it. Who can tell me? First, you don't remember? Don't worry. Let me remind you guys. I always say those verbs, we can only conjugate verbs in Portuguese. The second verb is either you leave it in the infinitivo. Do you guys remember? The infinitive form, the gerundo. Do you guys remember? And the last one is the composto we are doing. Okay, so take note. I'm repeating it again. Take note. If you're constructing a sentence and you have two verbs, you have two good verbs. Okay, don't check whether your sentence will be correct or wrong. Don't think about that one. But the only thing you need to think about is, if you have a second verb, then put this one at the back of your head. It's either you leave the verb in the infinitive form. I hope you know the infinitive form. So let's assume if you are taking verb pagar, it's either, since the second verb you leave it in the infinitive form, then it means you're going to leave it like pagar with the R. Okay, that's the infinitive form. If the second verb, if it is not in the infinitive form, then you need to leave it in the gerundio, the one we did, then to be what? Pagando, if you guys could remember. If it is also not the first nor the second, then you need to leave it in the third one, which is the composto we are doing, and it is pagado. Okay, paga according to the sentence, or pago. Okay, okay, don't go and conjugate it like the past tense we did, or the past imperfect we did. Is it understood? Okay, I'm repeating. Second verbs in Portuguese, we don't conjugate them. We only leave them in infinitive. It's not only the second verb, from second verb onwards. Okay, let me take an example. If you could check where I've highlighted, I have verbo ter. I hope you know that if you conjugate verbo ter, Then the next one is a verb. You need to bring K. That one we all know. I have been explaining it. What is our second verb? Verbal se. I hope it is in infinitive. Yeah. And the third verb, which is this. Which tense is it? It is in the composto. So it's either you leave it in the infinitive, gerundo, or composto. Don't conjugate second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and the rest. If they are verbs, we don't conjugate them. We leave it in infinitive, gerundio, or composto. Is it understood? Okay. So this one, you can't say a laranja foi, pagou pela mãe. Never. We don't say that. Okay. So that pagou, you want to say pagou. We have the compost, the right way to say it is either pagado, paga, or pago. Okay. So take note. I hope it is a bit clear. Okay. So this is how the composto became, because this one we use, someone asked why is it paga, because we use verbal, which verb, verbal se. Okay, but if it was verbal uh verbal te or verbal ave, how will it be? Okay, okay, so let's assume you want to say the orange. Okay, the orange, the orange ah, has been paid. Okay, or you want to say the orange has, it has to be paid. Okay, if it is plural, let's say the oranges. Let me make it the oranges so that it will be, we bought more than one. The oranges have to be paid. How do we say it? Now we have the paid here. Okay, we have the paid here. Now how do we say it in Portuguese? Is it going to be paga or pago? Is it going to be pagado? It won't be paga or pago. Why? Because we are not going to use verbo se, we are using verbo te. Okay, so as laranjas, okay, as laranjas têm que ser pagado. Okay, someone says, Sinessa, me, I've been seeing pagados, pagadas. What are those? Those one, we call them verb nouns. Okay, we call them verbs nouns. Okay, they are verbs, but they are also nouns. They behave as verbs, which behave as noun. Okay, that one will get there. But if you understand the composto, it is so easy to understand those ones. Okay, okay. So now let's see this one, because of verbal te. Okay, that's why we are using pagado. But if it is not verbal te and it is verbal se, then we come for the pago and the paga, the other side. Okay, okay. Any of these verbs, completo, sorry, verbo completar, to complete. Okay, when you are using verbo ter or verbo haver, you say completado. Okay, but when you are using verbo ser or verbo estar, you use completo or completa. Okay, dispersar, dispersado, or disperso. So you could see the verbs which have both sides. Sometimes we get confused. Why do you get confused? Sometimes you use verbo te, then we end up writing this side. Sometimes we use verbo se and verbo estar, then we will end up writing the other side. That's the difficult part, okay? Because some of the verbs they have both sides and they are also regular verbs, okay? Okay, so you need to know those ones even more than the others, those who have the both side, okay? Okay. Entregar, verbo entregar, entregado, entregue. For this one, I know we know it. Who doesn't know it or who has never heard of it before? Who? Vic, you haven't heard of it before. Vic, are you in Brazil? If yes, Vic, are you in Brazil? Victoria, you're in Brazil. Okay. So Vic, I hope since you got here, you mostly buy things on online. Vic, we can't hear you. Why don't you log out and join again? Okay. So mostly you heard entregue, entregue. Or when you buy something on Shopee, Amazon, Shein, and the rest, or even Temu and the rest. When, if you guys could notice, when they deliver the products, mostly you get notification. Don't we? Have you noticed those stuffs? What do they write if your phone setting is in Portuguese? Or wherever you are buying, the site you are using to buy is Portuguese site or Brazilian site. What do they write? Mostly they will write o pedido foi entregue. Yeah, have you seen? You know it though, but because you have not paid attention to it, we know them. It's because we don't pay attention. Yeah. So if they use foi, which is from verbo ser, they'll write entregue. But if they use tem or verbo haver, they will say entregado. Now you get what I'm explaining the whole time. Yeah. So those ones, it is easy to, okay. So take note. Okay. If you use verbo ser or verbo ter, they will say entregue. This same entregue is also a noun. That one I said we will get there. Okay. Entregado, when you're using verbo ter or verbo haber. Okay. Okay. Enxugar. So if you're using verbo enxugar, when it is verbo ter or haver, it will be enxugado. But when you're using verbo ser or verbo ter, enxuto. Okay. Okay. Verbo expressar. Expressado, when you're using ter or haver, and expresso, when you're using verbo ser or verbo estar. Okay. So take notes. Okay. Secar. I hope you all know secar. The last time I explained, I hope I did. Yeah. So secar, when you're using verbo te and verbo haver, it is secado. When you're using verbo se and verbo estar, it will be seco or seca. Okay. Example: a toalla está seca. A toalla, the towel is dried. Okay. So you could see in English, that's what I say. In English, you will not see anything. How we say it in the past tense are the same way we say it in the past participle. But Portuguese is no, and no answer to it. Okay. So in English, you say the towel. Okay. Maybe the towel was what? Dried. The word dried is the composto. Okay. So the dried, when you're using verbal to be, okay, verbal to be, then it means we are going to use the circle and the circle. Okay. Someone said, Senior Sammy, so what's the difference between the circle and the circle? When should I use circle? When should I use circle? I hope you guys have been thinking about it. I know. We use circle when the object you're talking about is a masculine. Okay. And we use circle when the object is what? A feminine. The toilet we were saying, the towel, okay, is a feminine word. That's why we use circle. Okay. Someone say, oh, Senior Sam, what if the object is a masculine? Example. Oh, which word? Maybe o sapato. Sapato está. Okay, o sapato está. That one we can't say seca because sapato is what? A masculine word. So seco. I hope you are getting the difference. If it is not clear, you can also ask your question. Okay. 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 So that's it. If you pick the next sentence, a secadora. I hope you know a secadora. Hmm? Do you all know secadora? Hey, it means we all know it. Okay. If you said you talk of secadora, no one knows. Yeah, I thought someone knows so that I'll give that person a prize, but no one. I hear a dryer, so you know it, and you see, then you don't know. Okay. 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 Someone will say, "Oh, since I'm out of secador." Hmm? Out of secador. Who have heard of secador before? Okay. Honestly, they are all dryers. Okay, but we have different kinds of dryers. Okay. And someone else, the secador is the masculine and the secadora is the feminine. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'll agree with her. Yeah, I'll agree with you. Okay. And they are all my secador, they are all dryers, so it all depends on the kind of dryers, okay? Mhm. So a secadora tinha secado a toalha. The dryer has dried. So the dryer has dried the towel. Okay. So the word dried, because we are using verbo te, that's why we say secado. But if it were to be verbo estar and verbo se, it will not be secado. It will be the seca and the sec, one of them. Okay. Okay. Example: a conta foi paga. A conta, if you talk about a conta, the bill. So the bill was paid. So the bill was paid. So paid is the paga. Okay. It became paga because you're using verbo se and verbo esta, but this one is verbo esta. Okay. Oi. So you want to say a conta foi, which means the bill was paid. Okay. Sorry, the bill is paid. Okay. So that is present. Okay, the bill is paid. If you say the bill was paid, past tense. Okay. So you could see, let's pick the same sentence our brother said. A conta foi paga. Okay. Foi is the past tense. Was. Paid is also a past tense. Paga. But the difference between these two, this one is past tense, and this one is past participle. Have you seen the difference between these two sentences? The first foi is the past tense, and the second pagado, okay, or paga is the past participle we are talking about. Okay. Let me bring who knows the meaning of finished or finished in Portuguese? Who can tell us? Terminar. Someone will say acabar. Uh-huh. Someone also say conclude. Okay, so terminar. Let's let's use terminar. Okay. Terminar, verbo terminar. How do you say I have finished? E tenho terminado. Okay. Do it again. That's it. What do you mostly hear? Terminado. Oh, mm, so 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 when they want to say I have finished, I know some of you, because you're doing composto, always some people would try to copy the English. You know, the composto way is like almost like with the same way of saying it in English. So I know some people would definitely say, since I want to say I have finished, I have finished. Okay. I know some people would say eu tenho terminado. Bro, I hope that's what you want to say. So, eu tenho terminado. Brazilians will never say tenho terminado. I have finished. I have finished. So instead of them saying tenho terminado, then this composto way, which we could have, it could have helped us to understand it perfectly. They won't say it that way. They'll say eu terminei. Someone asks next time, where is the half? That's why if you translate this one in to English, to be like, I finished. But when you hear Brazilians saying terminei, oh yeah, terminei, the person does not say I finished. Is the person trying to say I have finished? Guys, do you get it? So it's not the exact way we say it in English. It's the same way we should bring it to Portuguese. No, it won't work. Okay, it won't work. Okay, okay. So if one say I am done, how will you say it? That one will come there when you get there. Okay, when you're doing the irregular verbs. Okay, so take note. So that's what I was saying. Next sentences. Você havia me avisado sobre isso. Who knows the verb avisar? Who have heard of it before? Avisar. To inform. Okay. To inform. Oi. To warn. Mm, to warn. Okay. But most people prefer to inform. Okay. Okay. Ok. So, você havia me avisado sobre isso. How do we say this sentence in English? Because havia is there, okay? So this one you can't take it like our direct English, okay? So this one is what you must inform me about that or about it, okay? Okay. Next one. Tinha chamado a minha amiga hoje. Tinha chamado a minha amiga hoje. So the ones you could see, ado, all of them they have verb there beside it or haver, if you guys have noticed. Okay. Tinha, tem, tínhamos. Okay. Okay. So tinha chamado a minha amiga hoje. Ok? Ele já tinha entregado os documentos. So now this place, I didn't say ele já tinha entregue. No. Entregado. Okay? So he has already delivered the documents. Okay? Okay. Ele tem chorado para sua criança. Ele tem chorado para tua criança. I hope you all know chorado. Cried. Okay. Tínhamos arranjado a sala de aula antes. We had arranged, okay, the classroom before. Okay, okay. Now, what I want to tell you about the now one, which I was saying, and I said, all what you are doing, if you know them, it is also, it will help you understand the Portuguese. It also help us and now. Okay. Example, if you want to say something like dried towel, okay. Now we are learning something to nine's own. In English, dried, what is it? Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? Is it a verb? No, no, I shouldn't bring. Dried towel. The word dried there. Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? Is it an adverb? Is it a verb? Or what is it? Adjective. So it modifies the noun. Okay. In English, the adjective comes before the noun. I hope we all agree to it. Dried towel. In Portuguese, the noun comes before the adjective. I hope we are learning something extra. In Portuguese, the noun comes before the adjective. In English, you say dry towel. No one will arrest you. No one will arrest you. But you can't be here and tell us dried towel. And you are correct. Okay. But in Portuguese, how do we say dry towel? You say towel dried. Okay. I hope you are learning. But I'm not saying because you are learning it in Portuguese way, don't allow the Portuguese to interfere in your English. Like when you get home and you want to tell your mom, can you give me the towel dried? Your mom will be looking at you. Is my son okay? Eh? No. So if you want to say dry towel in English, correct. But in Portuguese, you need to change it. The noun should come first. Always, the noun should come first before the adjective. I hope it is noted. Good. Let's continue. If you have question too, you can ask. Okay. If you have question, you can ask. Okay. Okay. So the ER was ado. ER is Edo. Someone say, why is it Edo, not Edo? That's how the rule says. It said it should be Edo. Someone, if ER is Edo, then what of the IR verbs? Are they going to be Edo or Edo? When you get there, you get to know. So it becomes Edo for all regular verbs, okay? But remember, as usual, some verbs, they have both sides. Some also don't follow the rules, okay? Second, observe this. The irregular verbs, okay, as we all know, they can change and they can also be the ones we are learning. We can also use them as a noun, okay? So, what we have been doing the composto or what I was saying, they can also use as what a noun. Like the one I just explained, the dried towel. At that moment, the word dried has become a noun. Okay, the dried towel. Okay, although the dry is modifying the towel, but it has become a noun. Okay, so when I'm using verbo te or verbo haver as usual, colère, who knows the meaning of colère? Spoon. Hey, bro, thank you. He said spoon. The rest, what do you say? Mm, mm. Bro, I know that's something to count to your head. Colère, spoon, 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 spoon. It's a verb. It's a verb. So which verb is that? Hack. Wait. How can you have a sentence and you don't know the meaning of that verb, but you can use to form a sentence? To uproot. Yeah, to uproot. I'll give it to you. But it means to harvest. Okay, to harvest. Or let's say to collect. Okay. Okay. So, bro, when it becomes a verb, it is not spoon to spoon. Why? Okay, let's learn. Okay. So if it is colea, it will be colido, which means harvested. So it was harvested. Okay. Or it have been harvested. Okay. Okay. So o arroz já tinha. O arroz já tinha colhido. I hope you understand this sentence. O arroz já tinha colhido. I hope you all know arroz. No, Google, I don't want your double answers. Okay? Let's see what Google also wants to say. Google said we should add this sentence too. I don't want Google to give me more sentence. But let's add what Google is saying. Okay? Google said you can also say it becomes this, then it means we're having two compostos. Okay? Then it will literally be like our English. O arroz já tinha sido colhido. Someone asks, "Nelson, what is sido?" We all know colhido. The rice has already been. So verbo said the sido. If you see sido everywhere, we got it from verbo se. So the composto of a verbo se is sido. Sido in English, bean. Understood? Yes. So they're saying the rice has already been harvested. Okay, that's already been harvested. So, guys, let's learn something. The first verb was the normal conjugation. Okay, that's the past tense. The sido is a composto. That's the second verb. And we have another verb, third verb. It is also in composto. So the rules I said is either the first, you conjugate the first, the second, third, and the rest. Is either you leave it in infinitive, composto, or gerundio. Okay? Okay. If you pick verb conhecer, it will become conhecido, known. Okay? Agradecer. I hope you know agradecer. By now, I hope you know their meaning. Oh, serious. My brother said, does he know? I wish you can go and watch our video. What was it? Was it preposition? Guys, was it preposition? If you guys could remember when we were doing the prepositions, there was one preposition which said gracias a, thanks to. Then I explained what's the meaning of gracias a, obrigado, agradecer, and what was the remaining one? There were four. I explain them and I show each of them which one is a preposition, which one is the noun, which one is a verb, and the other one was in an adjective. Yeah. So agradecido. Don't worry. All what we have learned from day one to tonight, definitely we will start picking them again as revision so that at least it will help us to remember them again. Agradecer will be agradecido. Viver will what? Vivido. Romper will be rompido. Esquecer will be esquecido. Crecer will be crecido. Defender, defendido. Falecer. I hope you all know the word falecer. Who doesn't know the verb falecer? Okay. To pass out, to pass away, or to die, the same thing. Falecer. Okay. So it's in the sound of my hair. Yeah, the same thing. Okay. Fornecer, fornecido. Ler will be lido. Comer will be comido. So someone asked next time, comido and comida, are they the same? Guys, are they the same? Don't come and tell me comido is a masculine and the comida is a feminine. I know some of you is thinking that way, but please, I beg you. Okay. This verb, if you have heard it before, let me know. Caber. If you have heard it before, give me a thumbs up. No one. No one. Serious. Now, I know you know the meaning, but I want to know, have you heard it before? If you have heard it before, let me know. If you have heard it before, I want to know. Then I want to ask you one question. That's why I'm asking if you have heard it before. If yes, where did you hear this one? Where did you hear it? At least you have heard it before. Where? So how did the man say it? Okay. But mostly you guys have been hearing, especially when you guys are taking the lift or the elevator, and many people are entering. Let's assume when you are entering, you saw that there are many. Then you ask. Sometimes someone, not you, someone may ask, Kabi. Have you heard of it? Kabi. And if they said, yeah, like when you enter still you can fit, they'll say, yeah, Kabi, Kabi. Yeah. So Kabi is to fit, okay? Especially when most of me I use that word when I'm taking the elevator, especially when there are many. Let's assume each elevator has a specific number in weight. Let's assume the elevator is saying 8 people, but you thought the elevator, maybe you don't know, so mostly you think it's six. So when you get in, you ask Kabi, and they'll say, sing on now, depends you. So Kabi is to fit. So Cabido. Yeah, Cabido. Now let's go to the other ones. So escrever. Don't go and say escrevido. They don't have escrevido. They don't have escrevido. Someone associating, let me. What if I'm using the verbal te? They don't have. Okay, they don't have escrevido. Whether you're using verbal te to construct, verbal haver, verbal ser, verbal estar, right? Escrito or escrita. For verbo escrever, verbo dizer, verbo fazer. Someone say, Senior Simon, always you mention three verbs, fazer, dizer, and trazer. Why is it that only this time the family of these stubborn boys, how do we say, betrayed trazer? Guys, I don't know. I don't even know why they betrayed him. So most of you people are thinking if it is fazer, feito, dito, then this one is transito. No. So escrever is escrito or escrita. Fazer is feito or feita. Dizer is dito. Trazer is trazido. Saber is sabido. Haver is havido. Who knows the verb haver? Who knows it? Who has said it before or no? I hope you are learning new verbs tonight. Add it to your verbs. So to recover, okay. Someone say out of recuperar, and that one also means to recover. Okay. So take note. We are learning new verbs. Haver, which is an irregular verb, is visto. Guys, let's learn something here. Okay. Upon all what we have learned, if you're able to keep the visto, this side, this portion, if you're able to understand only visto, I'll be so happy. I hope you all know verbal ver to see. So in English, now let's know those who understand, those who can teach me English one day. The past participle for see is hot. So SAWN. Let me write it. SAWN. Mm. My brothers, he says son. Mm. Who again? Sin. So, bro, we don't have son, okay? Sin, okay? Ehen. So, this sin, take a note. Visto is nice and accurate. What's the meaning? If visto is seen, then un visto will be hot. If you know it, type it in the chat. Or you can meet to yourself and tell us. Don't Google. View. Hmm? Uh-huh. Ask. Mhm. You're asking, does it mean I'm asking you what's the meaning of un visto? So you want your answer from me. So what does it mean? An object. Okay. So if you hear un visto, oi, passport is different from no, you want me to see the answer. I won't say it. It hmm. Okay. So if you see just visto, it means seen. But if you see visto on your document, an accurate and rigid document is a visa. Okay. That's why if you check on your passport or when your passport, your visa, when they stamp in, you can go and check. You see that they have written visto. Yeah, it's a visa. Okay. So take notes. Take notes. I know. But I didn't say all visto you're going to see everywhere means visa. I know you people. I hope it's understood. Okay. Is it understood? Are you sure? If it's understood, thanks to God. Okay. Okay. But we are not done. No, no. Come again. I saw someone. Miriam said no, she doesn't understand. Okay. So I said, Miriam, you are doing composto as we all know, which is the past participle. The past participle for see, which is verbal ver, is visto, which means in English, seen. But if you see visto, it does not mean a scene or a view. If they want to say your view or a view, they'll bring ponto de visto. Okay. But when it comes a visto, then it becomes your visa. Okay. A visa. Okay. Miriam, do you get it now? Okay. Now, guys, last one. If you also see il visto, I hope you are learning. See, next time we are just saying visto is seen. Visto, we just got a vista. And you are saying il visto. Sinasami, what was that? Guys, what's the meaning of il visto? Don't Google. What's the meaning? Hmm? What's the meaning? Oi, verbo ir. How? Oi, vamos. Eu visto. I wear or I dress. Okay. But I wear or I dress. Okay. Good. Now let's learn something. So we got that one from verbal vestir. Okay, the visto here we got it from verbal vestir. Okay, guys, let's learn something here. It will shock you that you go and see, you will not see il visto, but you do see visto como maybe maybe let me use someone who is in Brazil. Visto como Neymar. What will come to your head? Now, they didn't bring something. They just wrote visto como Neymar. Does it mean seen like Neymar or seen as Neymar? Or what does it mean? What does this dress mean? This sentence, what does it mean? Okay, so this one becomes I dress like Neymar. Okay, take notes. Someone's asking, but there's no you. I hope this one have been explained. I said it's not compulsory to bring eu visto como Neymar. Okay. So someone saying something, if they don't bring, how will I know it is eu I dress or seen? You will know. Let me show you one way. This scene, it can only happen, it can only comes, or you can only see it when it has a second, when it is the second verb, meaning there should be a verb before it. I hope you are getting what I'm saying. The first one, the scene, it can only appear in a sentence when there's a first verb. This one we are learning, the last one, it only happens always the first verb. Any question? The scene, as you can all see, visto, you can only see in your book or you can only hear it when it is the second verb onwards. So I write onwards. I hope you understand. From the second verb going. So it can be as a second verb, third verb, fourth verb, or fifth verb. That's when you can see visto, which means seen. This visto como nema, it is this verb, verbo vestir. You can only see it for the first verb. Okay? Which first verb? First verb for present. Present tense. Okay? So take note. So it's a present tense for the verb vestir. This visto can never be a second verb. When it becomes a second verb, it means they are referring to this. So someone asking Sammy, now you said il visto. We got it from the vestir. So what will be the composto for vestir? It will be what? Vestido. Okay. Is it understood? Let's go. Gown. No. That's why I said when I was teaching, what did I say? If you guys could remember, who can remind us? I said all what we are doing for composto. Remember, we are going to use them as what? As nouns. So when it becomes a noun, as we are saying vestido, that's why when I was saying the toalha seco, that dry there is not a verb. It has become what? A noun. Okay? Yeah. So take note. Okay? Okay. Okay. Any question? If you have question, you can ask. If you have question, you can ask. No question. Okay. Thanks to God that we all understood it. Now let's come. Elige. I hope we all know elige. To elect. When you want to elect your president. Okay. When I'm using verbo ter, verbo ser, verbo ter, verbo haver, it will be elegido. But when you're using verbo ser and verbo estar, then you get eleito, eleita. Okay? Take note. Suspender. Gente, um minutinho.
Oi, boa noite.
Boa noite. Tudo
Tudo bem?
Tudo, você?
Você tá em casa?
Sim, tô.
Ô Samuel,
Oi.
você não tem uma borracha que me empreste que eu pedi minha borracha lá em casa, daí minha mãe não comprou. Daí eu preciso uma pra terminar a tarefa.
Borracha?
Borracha?
Um minutinho, eu quero ver se a minha tá aqui.
Eu quero ver. O que você falou?
E falei, quero ver se a minha ainda está aqui ou não.
Você tem uma ali?
Eu acho.
Ah, tá. Só procura aqui, manda mensagem para mim, para eu mandar assim embaixo, tá? Pois
Tá.
bem.
So where were we? Hello. Okay, so we're the eleger, which is elegido, elected or eleito or eleita. Okay, this kind of verb you mostly see it or hear it during the election time. Okay, so yeah, that one I think to be common. Suspender, suspendido, suspenso. When you have been suspended. Okay, yeah. But this verb, take note, and share to feel like you want to feel something, things of water. Okay, you want to fill your bottle with water. You use verb encher. So enchido. But this one, so our lady asks, shale. I hope you have heard this one as a noun before. So mostly shale, full, yeah. You'll be hearing, oh, that's shale. But mostly people don't hear tinha enchido, but tá cheio, that one is mostly common, okay? Morrer, morrido, or morto, or morta, okay? Verbo ser, sido, and verbo ter, tido, okay? So if you know both sides, it will both sides, it will really help a lot, okay? Because sometimes you may ask yourself, I want to use verbo crecer. Does it is it having the other side? No. Some verbs are only one, okay? Others have both sides, so take note. So sido, tiro, morrido, morto, enchido, cheio, suspendido, suspenso. This one, the suspenso, I know by now you have heard of suspenso and suspensa in your school. Haven't you? Especially in your school, they suspend the classes. Definitely, you guys have been receiving emails. Or that thing has never happened to you guys before. Hey, then it means you people are not in Brazil. You people are not in Brazil. Especially those one in Rio de Janeiro. If you're in Rio, for them, it will shock you that they can every week they'll get a suspense. Okay. They'll suspend the class, some of the classes, because those places sometimes, yeah, you get it. So Brazil, they like going for strike. They don't joke with it. To shock you, they'll just stand up and say, we are going for strike, the teachers. You have been seeing it. Gravy. So when they were going for gravy, they'll say the aula for suspense. Then they'll suspend their classes. Okay, that's how they are. So now we have the IR verbs, and I don't think we can do the IR verbs because I I reserve the IR and assignments. This is the first time giving you guys assignments. Are they plenty? 1 to 40 is not even plenty for us to do it tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow we are all going to answer whether you like it or not. We are all going to answer. This one is objectives. Okay, let me say numero un. Then I will I'll bring this verb. Ela tinha. Now, my lady. Now, have you seen the verb you ask? The noun. Have you seen the noun? Mhm. So then I'll ask. Ela tinha o vestido para a festa. Is it? Now you could see I'm having all the sentences, all what we have learned. Is it escolier? Is it escolido? Is it escolendo or escolidos? If you get it wrong, don't worry. We are all learning. Okay. Yeah. So I reserve yes the IR and the questions for tomorrow. So any question based on today's on the AR and the ER. If you have question, you can ask. My doors are open. Ask your questions. Let's go. Chido. Mm-hmm. No, you can't say you. No, you can't say il chido. Okay. Okay, you can't say il chido because remember I had itself. The had you are saying is a first verb, not a second verb. Okay, so the composto, the one we are doing this one, the ones we are doing tonight, that's the past participle. They only come after the first verb. So after first verb, they can be a composto, or after the second verb, you get it. Mhm. But when it is the first verb, then it becomes past tense. Okay. Mhm. That, that's why in English they said I have had. Have you heard that sentence before? Yeah, those ones. Then to be in that way. Okay. Who else? Guys, ask your questions. Okay. You need to ask your question. Ask your questions. My people, ask so ask. Even if it is not based on today's lesson, you can also ask. If it is not based on today's lesson, you can also ask. Okay, let's go.